Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome back to Newport News, Virginia, home of your apprentice school builders. We want to say thank you for joining us for this afternoon's broadcast as I, Howard McCain, will bring you today's play-by-play of the action. Dave Davenport will serve as our engineer-producer, where this afternoon the Vincent Brown-led apprentice school builders will be taking on the Gladiators of South Carolina Central Christian University. The captains are now at center field, or the middle of the field. The builders have won the toss, and they have elected to receive. So let's set the scene for today's action. First of all, ladies and gentlemen, this is a historic matchup that is going to take place here. This is the first ever New South Athletic Conference football game taking place right here at the Builder Athletic Center here in Newport News, Virginia. So you get an opportunity to witness history. So also the stakes for this game as well. Builders coming to this contest this afternoon, they're winless on the season at 0-2, while the Gladiators coming to this contest also winless on the season. They are currently at 0-3. So leading the Gladiators into this afternoon's contest is their head coach, Demond Logan. Demond Logan is a first-year head coach, only the second year of existence for this program. He stepped down from the athletic director role to take over the head coaching duties for the Gladiators. So he'll bring in a team that is very, very young, and according to Coach Logan, very, very inexperienced. About 34 of the total 42 players, this is their first time playing football on this level. So there's a lot of coaching that he has to go and has to actually do for this team to be competitive today. So again, he's in his second season. They come off of a game last week where they absolutely took a bludgeoning at the hands of Union Commonwealth. They lost by a score of 60-14. But if you were with us last week, you know the Builders didn't fare as well either, dropping their contest to North Carolina Wesleyan by a score of 49-14. So one of these teams is going to walk out of here today with their first win and their first conference win in conference history. So sit back and relax and enjoy. We're underway. Short kickoff, a pooch kick. That's a live football. Builders fall on it. So the Builders will start their opening drive of this afternoon with fantastic field position right around their own 45, 46-yard line. Beautiful day here in Newport News. The temperature at kickoff, 78 degrees. Winds are northeast at 6 miles per hour. The humidity is at a very uncomfortable 68%, 1% chance of rain, and the field conditions are dry and firm as the Builders send out their new starting quarterback on the day. That is Kendall Hunt in relief of Travarius Jones, who was the starter last week. Coach Vincent Brown said that he believed when Kendall Hunt came into the game last week, it gave the offense a spark as their first snap from center is a pass, nothing there. Hunt brings it down, able to pick up plus yardage on first down, about 2 or 3 yards. So it's going to bring up about 2nd and 7. Football rests at the Builder 49-yard line. Coming in as the starter, to relieve the starter last week, Kendall Hunt went 12 of 15 for 92 yards. He had 19 yards rushing, and really he accounted for all of the scoring for the Builders last week. A couple of short touchdown runs into the end zone gave the Builders their 2 scores last week as the give is to the running back. That's going to be Alvin Hicks, the 5'9", 190-pound freshman, who puts his nose in the middle of the line of scrimmage, able to pick up, I believe, about maybe 2 yards. This is going to bring up 3rd down and manageable for Coach Vincent Brown. Again, Coach Vincent Brown now in his 5th season with the Builders. His overall career record is 20-22. Once again, he is a native of Detroit, Michigan. Builders, 3 wide receiver set, single set back to the right of Hunt is Hicks. Mix up in the backfield. And that delay may have been enough to keep Hicks from being able to hit the hole on the right side. He's going to be brought down on the play by Shane Dixon, the middle linebacker for the Gladiators, 6'1", 215 pounds. He's a freshman. So it's going to bring up 4th down and a decision now for Coach Brown and the offense. I don't see the special teams unit making their way onto the field, so they're going to go for it here. Ball just over into plus territory at the Gladiator 48-yard line. 4 wide receiver set now. Single setback is Hicks. Give to Hicks. Hicks plows ahead. He needed 3. He got about 5, and that's going to be first down, Builders. We didn't see a whole lot of that out of the Builders last week as Montre Fletcher, the defensive end for the Gladiators, first in on the stop of Hicks, but not before Hicks is able to pick up a first down. And this opening drive continues, this historic opening drive for the Builders. Have an opportunity to put this drive in the history books for the New South Athletic Conference. I've yet to mention that today is homecoming. Yes, it is homecoming here for the Builders, so the king and queen will be crowned at half, and we get our first penalty flag of the afternoon. That's going to be a procedure penalty.
False start on the offense, number 6. 5-yard penalty. Repeat first down.
As you saw, TK Petway took off a little bit early. Our officials for this afternoon's game, you've already heard from David Spires. Your umpire today is Brian Brookman. Your head linesman is Tommy Hughes. Your line judge is Stephen Simmons. Your side judge is Mike Wagstaff. Your field judge is Stan Stanley. Your back judge is Bruce Vance. Your clock operator is Stephen Brown. And our 25-second clock operator is Milton Simmons. Builders now behind the sticks. 1st and 15 now as Hunt delivers out to the left flat to his wide receiver, Kyle Musselman. Kyle able to pick up all of the penalty yards and more. Looks like he picked up about 12 or 13 of the 15 yards to go. Kyle Musselman, the sophomore wide receiver, 5'9", 185 pounds. So far, an efficient opening drive for the Builders. Outside of that one procedure penalty by TK Petty, the Builders have looked flawless so far on this opening drive as they get the football into the hands of their playmaker, TK Petty. Petty splits the defense, continues to surge upfield. He finally stopped just outside of the 15-yard line at the 18-yard line, and that'll be first down, Builders into the red zone. Also, ladies and gentlemen, please stick around. Don't go anywhere at the half. We're going to have an interview with the commissioner for the New South Athletic Conference, Mike Brown. Is going to get an opportunity to talk to you about the significance of today's football game. Is that jet sweep, that, you know what, thank God. that was probably the best case scenario when it comes to an incomplete pass that the Builders could ask for. I thought that was a jet sweep, but I had to remember that toss actually counts as a pass. So if the receiver drops it, that is an incomplete pass. It was a forward pass, so no harm, no foul, incomplete pass, 2nd down and 10. Builders continue the drive at the 18-yard line of the Gladiators. Again, this is the opening drive of this historic contest this afternoon as the Builders make a change at quarterback as Hunt goes out. Alvin Hicks on the keeper for the out of the Wildcat formation. So Alvin Hicks is able to surge inside the 15 all the way down to the 12-yard line, so that'll bring up 3rd down. This will be 3rd down and about 5. Looks like about 5. Yeah, 3rd down and 5. Ball sitting at the 13-yard line. 10:26 remaining in this opening quarter as the Builders stay in the Wildcat formation with Hicks. Hicks follows his blocks. This time the defense was able to sniff that one out. So Hicks is probably, it looks like Hicks was taken down behind the line of scrimmage. Sorry, folks, I stepped away for a second. There was an annoying fly in the press box. In the Jimmy Wilson press box, by the way, is the Builders on to attempt a 30-yard field goal. And this will put the Builders on the board for first as Logan Eastman's kick is up, and it is good. 9:46 remaining in this first quarter of this historic football game. The Builders go on top 3-0.
I am Fatima Medina, and I work for HII, building the most powerful ships in the U.S. Navy. The digital technology I use is a generational change in the way that we build ships, making the construction of aircraft carriers more efficient. Plus, I get to work with veterans. Thanks to them, we all have our freedom, and we need to work hard to keep it. I am Fatima Medina, and I work for HII.
How much you earn has a lot to do with how much you learn. That's why Bayport Credit Union is again investing in your continued education. Through our Bayport Foundation, we're giving $100,000 in tuition assistance to area high school seniors, college students, and working adults attending a university, trade, or vocational school. Everyone deserves to be happy, healthy, and financially wise. Visit bayportcu.org to learn more.
3-0 is our score as the Builders make history with that field goal. They scored the first points in conference play ever in the New South Athletic Conference as the Builders kick the football away to the Gladiators, this will be their first opportunity on offense. As the return was taken by, I believe that was Quandrian Smith. Number 0, I believe, on that return, 5'10", 160-pound freshman wide receiver. As Shamir Holloway, who's one of the players to watch here for the Gladiators, leads his offense onto the field. Again, the Gladiators come into this afternoon's contest winless on the season, but Shamir Holloway, 5'10", 185-pound redshirt freshman with the handoff of the opening drive. I'm trying to see them separate to see who had that carry. Now that's Lennox Petty. He's listed as a wide receiver on my depth chart, 5'11", 185-pound redshirt sophomore, but he's lining up in the backfield, so there may have been a jersey change. So we'll check that on our next timeout to make sure that we're giving you the correct players' names. As the Gladiators, 2 wide receiver sets, single setback, they give once again to the running back. And until we get some clarity, I believe. Okay, so Lennox Petty. So Lennox Petty has made a position change for this afternoon. He's moved from wide receiver to running back. So Lennox Petty is your wide receiver in the backfield, number 3. We confirmed that with one of the members of the coaching staff for the Gladiators. First down and 10, Gladiators off of that carry by Petty. And the Gladiator drive continues. That previous drive for the Builders went 9 plays, 42 yards, ended in a 30-yard field goal by Logan Eastman as the Builders bring pressure. Builders able to get to Shamir Holloway for the sack, first sack on defense on the afternoon as the Builders come up big on defense. As Wilberto Sanchez, the 6', 240-pound senior defensive end, able to make a play. So that pushes the line of scrimmage now back to the 32-yard line, a loss of about 5 on the sack of Shamir Holloway. I got him. I apologize. That wasn't supposed to go across the air. I did finally kill that fly. Awesome. So he will not be bothering us. He will not be able to watch the rest of this historic football game today as the Builders force a fumble. Loose ball on the turf picked up by the Builders. And the Builders, Kamari Trueblood with the fumble recovery. As the Builders are able to get him up off the turf, Builders follow up that sack on their first sack of the afternoon with a forced fumble, and the Builders are back in business. just outside. That's going to put it just outside, just inside of the 25-yard line. Builders will start 1st and 10 at the Gladiator 24-yard line as Kendall Hunt leads the offense back onto the field. So offensively and defensively, you couldn't have asked for a better opening start for the Builders on their first 2 offensive possessions. As that give, Builders tried to attempt that the last time on offense. It went as a incomplete pass, but this time that end around I don't even think it picked up a yard. Isaiah Townsend was able to get back to the line of scrimmage. How he was able to do that, I'll never know, but nice job to not give up yards on the play. So that keeps the Builders out of the negative play. They stay at the original line of scrimmage, 2nd down and 10. Football sits on the Gladiator 24-yard line. Four wide receiver set, single set back to the left of Hunt as Hunt pressured, flushed up into the pocket. He's found a lane to the left and is able to make his way over to the line of scrimmage and all the way into the shrubbery. I hope we have those clipped. Forced out of bounds. But not before he was able to pick up about 5 yards, I believe, on that quarterback run. That was not a designed quarterback run. A lot of pressure coming from Montre Fletcher off of that left defensive end spot to force the quarterback up into the pocket. A lot of times when that happens, the quarterback's eyes cease to look downfield and they start to look for a rushing lane, which is exactly what Kendall Hunt did, was able to pick up positive yards, so the drive stays alive. The inside give to his tailback. That give goes to Taylor. Tyron Taylor, I believe he's able to get the football all the way down to the 6-yard line. So that's going to be 1st and goal, Builders. Clock continues to tick here in the first quarter. Builders looking to add on to their 3-0 lead over the Gladiators. 3 wide receiver set as Townsend goes in motion. The give is up the middle to Taylor. Taylor is going to be thrown down after he picks up about 5.5 yards. So that's going to be 2nd down and goal. Builders are going to be right around the 1-yard line. This should be real simple for the Builders. You have a 6'2", 200-pound junior quarterback. You just simply put the football in his hands and you just let him plow forward, but let's see. Instead, the give goes to the tailback. The ball was dropped. Football was dropped prior to going into the end zone. Now, the officials have already given the indication, so there's not a fumble, so it's going to be a touchdown.
The call on the field is a touchdown. The runner broke the plane. Touchdown.
From the tailback, that's Colby Messi, the 5'9", 180-pound sophomore running back, puts the first touchdown on the scoreboard for the Builders, and they add to their 3-0 lead. It is now 9-0 Builders over the Gladiators with the point after upcoming. As Logan Eastman lines it up. Logan Eastman's second kick of the afternoon is up, and it is good. 10-0. Builders, 4:32 left in the first quarter. Builders add to their lead. Builders awfully efficient this afternoon. So far on their 2 opening drives, they were giving very short fields to work with off of a pooch opening kickoff that didn't go very far. Builders recovered on their own 45-yard line. They went 42 yards in 9 plays to put up a 30-yard field goal by Logan Eastman, made the score 3-0 off of a fumble, forced fumble and recovery by the Builders. They were given another short field. Builders took over the 24-yard line. It took 5 plays and a 1-yard run into the end zone by Kobe Messi with a point after good by Logan Eastman, and the Builders now up 10-0 over the Demond Logan-led Gladiators from South Carolina Central Christian University. Now, the university is located, if I'm not mistaken, I think it's Casey, South Carolina, is where the university is located. Again, this is the first ever meeting between these two schools, and the Builders are in control. As that squib kick is taken by the kick returner, able to find something on the right side, and he was able to pick up a nice gain on that kickoff return. That was, as I look for the player's name, that was Antoine Graham, the 6'1", 170-pound wide receiver for the Gladiators, able to set them up with nice field position. Football sits just outside of the 35-yard line at the 37. Builder defense, who's already forced a turnover and a sack so far in this first quarter. Back out there. Change at quarterback is E.J. Smith is now running the offense. Single set back to his right. Smith decides to keep Smith around the left side, and he's going to be forced out of bounds. He was forced out of bounds by Caleb Davidson, the freshman linebacker who stands 5'11", but not until Smith is able to pick up about 8 yards on first down. So Coach Logan digging into the depth chart early in the contest as Smith handles the high snap. Lennox Petty with the carry. He did pick up enough for the first down, but you can see the yellow hanky on the field, and I believe this is going to go against the offense.
Holding on the offense, number 58. It's a 10-yard penalty. First down.
So that holding call will go against the offense, and it's a shame that the only time that an offensive lineman names gets called is whenever there's a
is that right?
That was Joseph.
Is that right?
With that holding along the offensive line, so that pushes the football back to the 35-yard line, making it now second down and 12 as Smith works with a 4 wide receiver set, single step back to his left as Smith finds his wide receiver, hits him in the hands. Ladies and gentlemen, in this business, that's a drop. He was absolutely wide open and could not bring that in. That Xavier Davis, who was one of the players to watch when I talked to Coach Logan prior to the contest, and I asked him, well, give me some guys that I should be looking for. Whose name should I be listening for to get called quite often today? And he did mention Xavier Davis, the 6'3", 215-pound red shirt freshman. Folks, those are amazing measurables for a wide receiver. That's exactly what you want size-wise out of your wide out, but you do want him to catch the football. Smith tries to deliver the football to his wide receiver. Brandon Broadwater was his intended wide receiver out of the slot. I believe he was expecting Broadwater to run an out, but Broadwater ran an in. Miscommunication between the slot wide receiver and his quarterback, and that's going to bring up fourth down and a punting situation as T.K. Petty is back to receive for the Builders. Devin Fields set to punt it away. High kick. Petty decides to not field it. It's going to go out of bounds, so where will the official spot it as he continues to go, and the Builders will start their third drive of the contest at their own 40-yard line. 10-3 is our score, 3:37 remaining in the first quarter, again, of this historic, and I can't say it too many times this afternoon. Look, folks, I get a chance to live this history with you. This is going to go. My voice will be with you for the rest of your lives whenever you watch a New South Athletic Conference football game, and I'm so excited that I'm stuck in your head until you die. Kendall Hunt back at the helm for the offense. 4 wide receiver status. Kendall tries to deliver the football to TK Petty on the out. Ball goes all the way out of bounds, and it'll bring up 2nd down and 10. Now, keep in mind, if you're one of those people that looks at stats, the Gladiators, through their first 3 contests, have given up just a sickening amount of yards on the ground, especially right up the middle, because if you look at a lot of the dimensions of their defensive players, they do kind of run to the small side. So Builders trying to get something going in the running game, nothing doing there, as Kobe Messi, who's already scored a touchdown this afternoon, he gets stopped in the backfield. Now, I talked to Coach Logan about that during the pregame, and he said, well, we did play up in competition, and I kind of let my guys know that would probably be the way they would attack us. So he knew that they were going to that those teams were going to come out and really run the ball, and they did. But now that we're in conference play, they expect things to kind of even and level out a little bit, and maybe some of those numbers that they gave up in the rushing game will start to settle down as Hunt is flushed, tries to deliver the football to Isaiah Townsend, but that one is going to be incomplete. He was flushed out of the pocket by their big defensive tackle, Kelvin Lee. The 6'2", 280-pound redshirt sophomore looked almost unblockable on that play. Now, he's a player, believe it or not, Vincent Brown was concerned about. When I asked him to give me a player on their defense that could cause us problems, he immediately said, big number 90. We have got to block big number 90 up front. That time, Lee able to flush Hunt out of the pocket and force the incomplete pass. Builders punted away. Fielded. Once again by the kick returner. That's Antoine Graham. Once again, doesn't get very far this time. So the Gladiators start their next drive at their own 26-yard line. Here on homecoming for the Builders, kind of early in the season, but nevertheless, it is homecoming, so the king and queen will be crowned at halftime, but also we will be spending some time talking to our commissioner from the New South Athletic Conference, Mike Davis, who brought a special guest with him into the press box. E.J. Smith back in at quarterback. Quick pass out into the flat. That's going to go for naught as DeMarco Lovett is going to be brought down for a loss. Several Builders in on the tackle.
Loss of 3 yards on the pass.
That's going to be a loss of 3, so it's going to make it 2nd down and 13. Builders playing on defense with a lot more energy this week than we saw last week. You can tell that they want this win today. They're well on their way, up by 10 right now over the Gladiators as E.J. Smith looks over the defense with 4 wide receiver set, single setback. The give goes to the running back. We have a new one into the backfield. Can't quite see the number of the running back. There it is. He just finally revealed it. That is
no gain on the play.
Now, I don't have a 26 on my depth chart, ladies and gentlemen. I apologize for that. I can't give you the player's name with that carry. 3rd and long now for the Gladiators. Builders with an opportunity to get them off the field and get the ball back with good field position if they're able to stop E.J. Smith. Smith rolls out, delivers, tries to hit his wide receiver, just too tall. Pass intended for, I believe, that was Lennox Petty. Nope, that wasn't Lennox Petty. That was DeMarco Lovett. So the Builders once again with a stop on defense with an opportunity to get the ball back here. 1:02 left in the first quarter. Gladiators with a tough time getting the offense started, as Baker Green back to receive this punt. Punt upcoming from Devin Fields. And the play clock just expired. That will be a 5-yard penalty.
Delay a game on the offense. 5-yard penalty. Still 4th down.
So a lot of youth out here on the field for both teams. Keep in mind the Builders are playing a lot of youth as well, but probably not nearly as much as the Gladiators have on the field at the moment, as Fields gets the punt away. Green backtracks. Baker with the football, able to get over into plus territory before he runs out of bounds. So the Builders will start this drive on the Gladiator side of the 50-yard line. And we have a timeout. Tell you what, we'll take it with them. Builders up 10-0, 53 seconds left in the first.
Prentice Athletics Booster Club membership is now open for the 2024-2025 season. You can choose a general membership to support all of Prentice Athletics, or you can designate one specific sport to support. Membership is good for the entire 2024-2025 athletic year, regardless of which decision you make. Scan the QR code or visit GoBuilders.com to get your membership today.
Kendall Hunt back at the controls of the offense as Kendall looks. Pass in the backfield to Isaiah Townsend. He's going nowhere. That's going to be a loss. He was brought down by Montre Fletcher. Called his name more than twice so far in this contest. Nice job by the defense to sniff that one out. So that's going to be a 3-yard loss on the play. 2nd down and 13 upcoming. Gladiator single safety up high as Townsend goes in motion. Jailbreak. Builders able to set up the screen. Can they take advantage of it so far? TK out front, 2 blockers. Continues to follow his blockers, and he's finally chased down inside the red zone and taken out of bounds. TK Petty with a huge gain. Nice play call by the offensive coordinator to use an aggressive defensive front against them. Nothing more beautiful than a screen pass in that situation. As the clock continued to roll, they said that TK came down in bounds. That'll do it for the first quarter here on homecoming. 10-0, Builders over the Gladiators. We'll be back.
How much you earn has a lot to do with how much you learn. That's why Bayport Credit Union is again investing in your continued education. Through our Bayport Foundation, we're giving $100,000 in tuition assistance to area high school seniors, college students, and working adults attending a university, trade, or vocational school. Everyone deserves to be happy, healthy, and financially wise. Visit bayportcu.org to learn more.
There are giants among us. They are the men and women building our Navy's next generation submarines. They are giants in what they do because they work in a place where they can grow, where they can learn the skills to build careers as powerful as the beasts they forge. We build giants because it takes one to build one.
Start of the second quarter. First and 10, Builders at the 16-yard line of the Gladiators as the Builders give to their wide receiver. The Builders able to surge inside the 5-yard line, and that's where the Builders will continue this drive. First and goal, but the Builders have a player on the turf. And that looked like that was the wide receiver.
It's injury timeout.
That actually carried that inside the 5-yard line. That's Bradley Head, who's down. Bradley was the one that was on the carry. Tell you what, we'll take a break. We'll be back 10-0 Builders over the Gladiators.
The USCAA provides our program exactly what they say, a chance for small colleges to compete. It's leveling the playing field for everybody.
Welcome back. Builders first and goal inside the 5-yard line at the 1-yard line as the Builders look to build on a 10-0 lead over the Gladiators of South Carolina Central Christian. As the give to the fullback Malachi Mitchell, touchdown Builders. The 5'9", 220-pound fullback able to take that 1-yard carry into the end zone to add to the Builder lead. Builders now up 16-0 over the Gladiators as Logan Eastman comes on to attempt the point after. Once again, Builders operating off of a short field as the snap, the hold, and the kick, all three are good. 17-0 Builders over the Gladiators. 14-14 remaining in the first half as the Builders, again, working with a short field after the punt and return by Baker Green set them up at the 45-yard line. It took 4 plays to get the football into the end zone off of a 1-yard run into the end zone by Malachi Mitchell. Builders looking a whole lot different this week than they did last week as they fell to North Carolina Wesleyan by a score of 49-14. But the Builders look like they have it together as they enter conference play. And if you want to start playing winning football, now is the time to do it. Once you get into conference play, ladies and gentlemen, all of your goals for the season are still in front of you. Even though the Builders are 0-2, they still have an opportunity to win the division. Now, the New South Athletic Conference is broken down into 2 divisions. You have the North Division and the South Division. It's an 8-team conference, 4 in each division. Builders reside in the North Division along with Clayton State, Barber Scotia, and South Carolina Central Christian. So if the Builders are able to get out of here with this victory this afternoon, they go up, they get their first conference and division win on the season as that kickoff goes innocently into the end zone. So that'll be a touchback. So the Gladiators will go back on offense. E.J. Smith has been the quarterback for the offense the last few drives, replacing Samir Holloway, who was actually, prior to today's game, was leading the team in rushing yards. But he was quickly taken out after the first series of downs for the Gladiators, and E.J. Smith has been at the controls of the offense ever since. Gladiators find themselves now down 3 scores as we're going to get a procedure penalty. I believe that's going to be against the offense. Or is it a delay of game? I see that the play clock is all the way down to 00. David Spires.
There is no foul. First down.
Nope, there is no flag.
Clock will start on the snap.
So they're going to pick up the penalty flag. 14-15 remaining in the first half. Still 1st and 10 for the Gladiators. As they come out with a 4 wide receiver set. Back motions out of the backfield. Now a 5 receiver set. As Smith flushed. Penalty flag comes out. Builders able to track down Smith right around the line of scrimmage.
There's a flag on the play.
So
holding on the offense, number 58. 10-yard penalty. Repeat second down.
On the tackle, but that's going to be a penalty against the offense, so it's going to back them up another 5 yards. So take the football from the 25 to the 20. Oh, it was holding, so that was, I'm sorry, that's 5 yards. That's 10 yards. So the ball goes back to the 15-yard line of the Gladiators. It'll be 1st and 20 now for Smith and the offense. As the Builders starting to lick their chops on defense, looking for an opportunity as Smith tries to get it out to his wide receiver, goes over his head. Quadrian Smith was the intended target. Quadrian did not have didn't have a chance. He's 5'10". He had to be about 6'4" to be able to bring down that one for a completion. So that's going to make it 2nd down and 20. Clock stopped as the Gladiators take their time. And if you're Coach Damon Logan, you do want to use these opportunities to evaluate which of your guys actually want to play football. Even if you're down 17-0, you got to find who your guys are that want to play. Is that one, that pass is completed. So Brandon Broadwater with his first catch of the afternoon. 5'9", 170 pounds. He's a freshman. Much like many of the players on their team, they're either freshmen or redshirt freshmen. Not a lot of sophomores or juniors on this team. Again, this is a step up in competition for the Gladiators, who prior to last season, they were more like a club team. Smith rolls out to his left, tries to follow his blockers to try and pick up a first down. He's going to come up short on 3rd down. He's probably going to come up somewhere around about 4 or 5 yards short of a first down as they try to sort things out on the far side. Let's see where the football is going to be placed down, because from our vantage point, unless there was a penalty.
Holding on the offense, number 56. 10-yard penalty.
Flag pop out, so there was a holding call. That was on Jayshawn Broadnax, the left guard, 6'4", 250-pound freshman with the hold. So instead of taking the play, Coach Brown decides to take the field position, and he's going to push the football, which is going to push the football back to the 15-yard line. It's going to make it 3rd down and 19 upcoming. So Brown is counting on his defense, and he believes if they can get a stop and force a punt, they can probably start their next drive inside their own 50-yard line, as that is going to go down as an INT for the defense. Nice job of just playing center field and waiting for that to come down is Elijah Scott. But guess what, ladies and gentlemen? Back at the 5-yard line, there is a
personal foul. Rough the passer. Number 92 in the defense. 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
And that's going to be a personal foul penalty, roughing the passer on the defense. So that takes a interception away from Elijah Scott, and it's going to give the offense 15 yards and a brand new set of downs. 12:39 remaining in the first half of here at homecoming. Festivities coming up at halftime, where the king and queen will be crowned on the field, and some festivities taking place here in the press box as the commissioner for the New South Athletic Conference will be joining me. Just kind of bring us up to date on all the exciting things that have been happening with the conference, the New South Athletic Conference. As that goes around, that run goes around the right end, that's going to be coming back. It's going to be another penalty flag. I think at this point, if you're the ref, just leave the flag out. Just leave it out.
Holding on the offense, number 54, 10-yard penalty. First down.
On that hold. Yeah, if you're Mr. Spires, instead of just reaching in my pants, I just leave mine on the field and just kick it. Just kick it where it's supposed to go every time a penalty happens.
Check, test.
So a penalty marred drive by the Gladiators continues. First down and 20. Football is on the 21-yard line. It seems like we've stayed between like the 15 and the 26-yard line for like the last 10 minutes. When I say this drive has come to a screeching halt, it has come to a screeching standstill. Run up the middle. Not a whole lot there for Lennox Petty. Take it down on the play by Darius Carney from that defensive end position. That's going to bring up now 2nd and long. 2nd and 15 upcoming.
2nd down and 15 for the Gladiators.
This is the 4th consecutive road game for the Gladiators. They'll be at home next week, and I'm pretty sure they cannot wait for that. Builders will go on the road next week as Smith looks, can't find anyone, decides to take it himself. Now at the last minute, he finds a wide receiver that got behind the defense, unable to connect, and he was wide open, is Antoine Graham. My goodness, that could have been an explosive play for the Gladiators. We have a stoppage in play. There's a player down on the turf. Tell you what, while the trainers tend to the player, we'll take a break. We'll be back. Builders up 17-0.
I am Fatima Medina, and I work for HII, building the most powerful ships in the U.S. Navy. The digital technology I use is a generational change in the way that we build ships, making the construction of aircraft carriers more efficient. Plus, I get to work with veterans. Thanks to them, we all have our freedom, and we need to work hard to keep it. I am Fatima Medina, and I work for HII.
How much you earn has a lot to do with how much you learn. That's why Bayport Credit Union is again investing in your continued education. Through our Bayport Foundation, we're giving $100,000 in tuition assistance to area high school seniors, college students, and working adults attending a university, trade, or vocational school. Everyone deserves to be happy, healthy, and financially wise. Visit bayportcu.org to learn more.
17-0, Builders over the Gladiators. First ever New South Athletic Conference football contest as the Builders look to go 1-0 in the North Division. Now, depending on who wins, of course, the North and the South Division, there is a championship game that takes place in Morrow, Georgia. No, it's not.
Delayed game on the offense, 5-yard penalty. Still 3rd down.
So the football now is going to move from the 26-yard line back to the 21-yard line. So again, this drive is continuing to stay stuck between the 15 and the 26-yard line. So far, we're going to have to track it to see just how many plays have taken place in this drive, as that pass is almost picked off by Elijah Scott. Hit him in the breadbasket, but he just couldn't pull it all the way in. Remember, Elijah Scott just had an interception taken away from him because of a personal foul, roughing the passer penalty, almost able to get that interception on his stat sheet, but instead it's going to be an incomplete pass. Punting situation upcoming is Baker Green set to receive for the offense. Homecoming. So that championship game for the New South Athletic Conference will take place again, like I was saying earlier, in Morrow, Georgia on November the 15th. So if the commissioner wants someone to broadcast that game and I'm not doing anything, he can always.
Timeout, South Carolina Central. It's their first half.
Timeout. Slide right in. It's a timeout. We'll take it with them. 17-0 Builders. We'll be back.
Prentice Athletics Booster Club membership is now open for the 2024-2025 season. You can choose a general membership to support all of Prentice Athletics, or you can designate one specific sport to support. Membership is good for the entire 2024-2025 athletic year, regardless of which decision you make. Scan the QR code or visit GoBuilders.com to get your membership today.
Welcome back. It's homecoming here for the Builders. Stick around. Not only will the king and queen be crowned at the half, which will start in about 11 minutes and a second, we'll be spending some time with, again, Mike Davis, the commissioner of the New South Athletic Conference. Going to get a chance to introduce the conference to you and talk about this huge, huge game going on today, as that punt will not pass midfield. So that punt is going to go out of bounds at the Gladiator 48-yard line, which is where the Builders will take over. Builders have enjoyed short fields today. They pretty much won the field position battle pretty much this entire first half, as they'll start this drive in plus territory as Kendall Hunt once again leads the offense onto the field. Kendall came on in relief of Travarius Jones at quarterback and was actually able to lead the Builders to a couple of scores against North Carolina Wesleyan last week. So the Builders looking for their first win of the season. Builders set up a bubble screen to Musselman, but unfortunately Hunt too high on the pass. Man, that was something cool about to happen. If that pass could have been completed, that was going to be a beautiful tunnel screen to Musselman, but instead it's going to be an incomplete pass. Clock stopped now, 10:47 left in the first half. Now, one of the cool things for the Builders in conference play this season, 3 out of their 4 conference games are right here in Newport News, as the give up the middle. Gladiator defense waiting on it. Again, Montre Fletcher and a couple of other Gladiators in on the stop. Builders able to get back to the original line of scrimmage. So, yes, the only time the Builders are going to go on the road in conference play is when they go to Clayton State. And Clayton State, of course, is located in Morrow, Georgia, which is where the championship game is going to take place on November the 15th. So the Builders, depending on what they do with their division slate, could be getting a preview of where they could potentially be playing for the conference championship if they're able to handle business in the conference. As Hunt pressured. Hunt doesn't feel the pressure on the backside. Football is stripped out, and the recovery by the Gladiators. Elijah Smith from that tackle position just came screaming around the right side, was able to beat the left tackle, put the pressure on Hunt. Hunt didn't feel the pressure on the backside. Smith knocked the football out of his hand, and the recovery by Montre Fletcher. So if you're Coach Logan for the Gladiators, that's exactly what you want to see out of your defense. Just a lot of disruption, which led to a turnover, the first turnover of the afternoon for the Builders. Gladiators now with the football on the plus side of the 50. Smith tried to get it to his wide receiver. Football bounced up, but there is a flag. Brandon Broadwater was the intended receiver.
Personal foul, chop block on the offense, number 58 and number 54. 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
So that was the center and the right guard that combined for the chop block, Joseph Tolbert and Trenton Richardson. And, of course, if you're not familiar with a chop block, whenever an offensive lineman is engaged with a defensive lineman, another lineman cannot come and cannot block him below the knees. That is that's more of a player safety type of rule. So that's going to push the ball out of plus territory back into minus territory to the 36-yard line of the Gladiators is Smith. On 1st and 25, Smith keeps. Able to get around the left side. I think he picked up well over half of the penalty yards back on that keeper.
Jaden Jackson with the tackle by the Builders. Gain of 8 yards on the run.
So a pickup of 8 on first down. Second down, 17 as Smith operates with an empty backfield. 5 wide receiver set. Play clock at 10. Smith looks, unloads. Receiver has a step. Football just a little bit too long for his intended receiver, Antoine Graham. And at this point, Antoine Graham has to be one frustrated wide receiver. That's the second time where he was able to get a step on the defense and the football was overthrown. So if you're Smith, you want to put a little bit more air underneath that pass and allow your receiver to make the adjustment and go get it. Even if it's underthrown, if the receiver just tries to make an attempt to make his way back to the football, you can get a pass interference penalty. Now, it won't put you at the spot, but at least it'll give you 15. So it's third down now and long, 17 upcoming for Smith, as Smith decides to keep it. Builders read it, and they drop Smith before he's able to pick up the first down. Now, you would think, well, on that 3rd and 17 play, why would you run it? Well, that is going to set them up just in case they wanted to go for it on 4th down, but Smith just wasn't able to pick up enough. So Coach Logan sends on the special teams unit. And so does the Builders as Green goes back to receive this punt from Devin Fields. 9:06 left in the first half of this festive Saturday for the Builders. It's homecoming. And the play clock is down to 0.
Delay on the offense. 5-yard penalty. 4th down.
I'm going to try to see if I can find out what are the penalty yards for the Gladiators so far. I'm sure it's something that something close to ungodly. Right now, Builders are leading all the statistical categories that are pretty much kept track of in this game, as that punt will go out of bounds at the 31-yard line of the Builders. I think this is the worst starting field position the Builders have had on a drive this afternoon, their own 31-yard line. I think prior to that, it was their own 40. 8:58 left. Builders up 17-0. They took early control of this football game, and they have not relinquished it after the Builders working with a short field off of a pooch kickoff. Builders started at their own 45-yard line, were able to put up a 30-yard field goal by Logan Eastman, and the Builders have controlled this football game ever since, as this give is going to go straight up the gut.
And off to Alvin Hicks.
As Alvin Hicks surges ahead for a short gain on first down.
Gain of 1 yard on the run. 2nd down and 9.
It's a pickup of 1, 2nd down and 9. Clock continues to roll. On this really humid day here in Newport News, When the Builders first started this contest, their uniforms were maroon. Now they're more burgundy. As they just continue to really sweat out there. So conditioning is going to be a huge part of this game as TK Petty able to take that short pass, more of a slant upfield. So he was able to pick up about maybe 4 or 5 on the play. So it's going to make it 3rd down and 4, a manageable down to go for the Builders on 3rd down as the clock continues to tick. Four wide receiver set. Single set back to the left of Hunt. The quarterback takes the snap from center. Quick pass to his wide receiver, Musselman. Musselman was open, but Hunt tried to sidearm it. And when he sidearmed it, it just went straight into the ground before it got to Musselman. So that's a bit of a wasted opportunity there on 3rd down. So the Builders are going to punt, which they haven't done a lot of this afternoon. Is this their first punt of the day? No, it's not. No, it's not. Sorry about that. It isn't. As Logan Eastman is on to punt it away. Play clock down to 3, 2, 1, and we are going to get a timeout.
Timeout. Prentice. They're first of the half.
A game penalty. So tell you what, they're going to step away. We'll do the same. 17-0 here at homecoming.
I am Fatima Medina, and I work for HII, building the most powerful ships in the U.S. Navy. The digital technology I use is a generational change in the way that we build ships, making the construction of aircraft carriers more efficient. Plus, I get to work with veterans. Thanks to them, we all have our freedom, and we need to work hard to keep it. I am Fatima Medina, and I work for HII.
How much you earn has a lot to do with how much you learn. That's why Bayport Credit Union is again investing in.
Thanks to the crack staff here in the Jimmy Wilson press box, we were able to determine that the Gladiators, penalty-wise, are 8 for 70. The Builders are 2 for 20. As Logan Eastman, that is a booming kick. Can the Builders get to it? No, they cannot. So the net on that punt is going to be what? Is that 63 yards? That was a 63-yard punt by Logan Eastman. My goodness. Nice job, Logan. 63 yards on the punt, no return. So that'll bring the football out to the 20-yard line, and that is where the Gladiators will start this drive. So remember, the last time they had the football, they just couldn't move it. I mean, they just could not move the football. Penalties were a problem. So let's see if they're able to clean some things up on offenses. E.J. Smith again back out at quarterback. This time he has 2 wide receivers. Give around the left end. Goes to the running back that was to his right. Let's see, that tackle. There was no gain on the play. Again, I don't have a 26. Thank you, sir. I don't have a 26 on my depth chart. Maybe we can get some clarity from someone on the coaching staff as to who 26 is for the Gladiators, because he is their running back that is on the field right now along with 4 wide receivers. Smith trying to get something going in the passing game. That one was tipped at the line of scrimmage. Nice job by the defensive line to get their hands into the passing lane and disrupt that pass. So that'll stop the clock. 6:32 remaining in the first half.
Ball still at the 20-yard line.
So now with the Gladiators playing catch-up, they're passing a lot. If the passes, of course, fall incomplete, that stops the clock. So that is kind of prolonging this second quarter just a bit. E.J. Smith decides to keep it. He scrambles to the left. He tries to find his wide receiver, Antoine Graham, who continues to get behind the defense. Unable to come down with the opportunity is Graham. So that'll bring up 4th down and 10. Punting situation now is Baker Green back onto the field, along with Devin Fields, the punter. So the Builders with an opportunity to start this drive with excellent field position. If the Builders are able to put another score on the scoreboard, I know we still have a whole other half of football to play, but boy, that just may salt this one away as the Gladiators just unable to get much of anything started on defense. Special teams almost came up huge on that one. Man, how did they get in there and not block that one is the mystery. Is this going to finally come to a stop in minus territory for the Builders at their own 42-yard line? So 6:15 remaining in the first half. Builders up by 3 scores. So again, both teams are looking for their first ever conference victory in the New South Athletic Conference.
And once again, fans, make sure to visit our food trucks located in the end zone closest to the scoreboard for all of your game day meals and treats.
Okay, and Builders with the football. That give goes to Hicks. Hicks is going to be stopped right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on that first yard carry. Shane Dixon from that middle linebacker position able to knife in and make that stop right at the line of scrimmage.
2nd and 10 for the Builders.
Clock continues to tick. 5:45 remaining in the first half as the Builders. Again, good field position as Hunt with the give to Messi. Nice job by the defense to get inside, bring down Messi behind the line of scrimmage. That's Kyler Barkley from his cornerback position, able to come down and make that stop, the 6'2", 195-pound freshman for the Gladiators. Now, the Gladiators actually did play last season. They did play. They had a different head coach at that time. I think it was Antonio Petty was the coach last season. But the athletic director at that time, who was Damon Logan, didn't really like the direction that the program was going. So he decided to take over the reins as the head coach of the Gladiators. And that is how he ended up.
Timeout of Prentice School. They're second of the half.
Timeout taken. We'll take it with them, 17-0.
Prentice Athletics Booster Club membership is now open for the 2024-2025 season. You can choose a general membership to support all of Prentice Athletics, or you can designate one specific sport to support. Membership is good for the entire 2024-2025 athletic year, regardless of which decision you make. Scan the QR code or visit GoBuilders.com to get your membership today.
.448 remaining in the first half. It's homecoming here at the Apprentice School. The king and queen will be crowned at the half. So that should be a lot of fun for the family that is here, the families that are here, who have student athletes and even students who are part of the homecoming court. I wonder if there are any student athletes that are part of the homecoming court. It's always funny to me to see a football player a part of the homecoming court when everybody else is like dressed up. and they come out in like their smelly uniform to like escort a young lady across the field. Builders changing the play. 5 receivers set. Hunt with all kinds of time finds Isaiah Townsend for a huge gain on 3rd down. That's going to be 1st down Builders as he slides to a stop right at the 31-yard line of the Gladiators. Builders drive continues. Nice looking pass, man, that time from Hunt to Townsend, who was able to get behind the defense and create an explosive play for the offense. Yet last week, I think the Builders only had 2 explosive plays. They've already eclipsed that amount here.
Timeout, South Carolina Christian. That's their second of the half.
There's going to be a timeout. 4:09 remaining here in the first half, as this will be a great time. Listen, if you weren't down on the field, and if you're not here in the stands for this game, it's really humid out there today. So it is definitely pulling a lot of moisture out of these players. So definitely want to see these players get as many fluids into them as possible. What's been really good, and if I'm not mistaken, hopefully someone can bring it to my attention, I haven't seen any players go down with cramps up to this point. So that's really a good job by these teams to properly hydrate themselves. Not on game day. You really have to hydrate yourself or start hydrating yourself the day before the game. You don't wait until you start to cramp to start getting those fluids and those electrolytes. You want to go ahead and start getting your body prepared for this type of heat the day before. So conditioning has been really good so far for both teams. I thought that would probably hurt the Gladiators more so than the Builders, since they are used to playing in these pretty warm conditions. But no, both teams have done a fantastic job of getting themselves prepared physically to play this football game. So again, Hunt still at the controls, 5 wide receiver set. Looks like a screen. Hunt still able to get it away to Petty. That's going to be a face mask, and there goes the flag. So minimal gain on that play. Looks like it's going to be 1, but we're going to tack another 15 onto the end of the play, as there was a face mask, but we'll get the final call from the referee in just a moment.
Personal foul, face mask, number 90 on the defense. 15 yards from the end of the run, automatic 1st down.
And that's the big nose tackle, Kelvin Lee, who committed that face masking penalty. Who, again, their best defensive player by far. He has been so disruptive across that defensive front for the visiting Gladiators.
And after the penalty, the ball will be at the 15-yard line.
So the Builders will take over now at the 15-yard line as Taylor is back in at tailback. And on top of that 15 is going to be another 5. As the aforementioned Kelvin.
Offside with contact. The defense, number 90. 5-yard penalty. 1st down.
So Kelvin Lee is going to be whistled for his 2nd consecutive infraction. Again, he committed the face masking penalty on TK Petty, and now an offsides by Lee. That's 20 yards in penalties so far, so that adds to their total. So by my calculation, they are just shy of 100 yards of penalty yards that they've surrendered so far in this contest, as the play clock now is at 5. Hunt tries to get it to his wide receiver. That's going to be pass interference in the end zone. He was looking for Musselman, but there was a lot of contact, and Musselman was pretty much tackled in the end zone.
There is a flag on the play.
That call is going to go on, I think that's Jake Jenkins, the 6', 190-pound defensive back.
Pass interference on the defense, number 11. The ball was foul occurred in the end zone by rule. It's placed at the 2. 1st down.
So that'll push the football down to the 2-yard line. The rules are a little bit different than the pro rules. The pro rules would have put it right at the 1. But by our rules, that'll put the football right at the 2-yard line. It'll be 1st and goal for the Builders. 3:18 remaining in the first half of this homecoming Saturday for the Builders, who are looking to add to their 17-0 lead. Hunt brings the offense back to the line of scrimmage. Two setbacks. This give goes to Taylor, who's going to be dropped right at the line of scrimmage as some bad intentions come onto the field. Player loses his helmet. That's Ryan Sisney. Flags come out shortly afterwards. And then one more came out at the end. So one is definitely going to be a personal foul, just depending on who. And the second one, there may have been some choice words that might have been said on the field that can't be said. So depending on where this falls, this could be just an offsetting situation. As you can hear with our field mic, unfortunately, some of the fans don't like what's happened out there, and they're dropping some 4-letter expletives that are being picked up our field mic, unfortunately. Sorry about that, folks. So the officials handling all of the administrative duties right now, trying to figure out who did what. Again, Sisney lost his helmet. Thank goodness no punches were thrown, which I still never understand when a fight breaks out on the field. Why do they throw punches? Everybody has on so much equipment. It always baffles me when I see guys throwing hands on the field and you're hitting a face mask that is made out of steel. The commissioner said I'm asking the right questions, but I don't know. Here's the call.
After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct. Flagrant personal foul, number 22 on the defense. He is ejected. Be a half the distance from the 2, first down.
So that's the middle linebacker, Shane Dixon, that the penalty was called on. So Shane Dixon is going to be ejected from the football game. Now, I don't know exactly what he did to warrant that, but the officials felt like whatever he did on the field was flagrant enough to warrant a disqualification by their middle linebacker. So he is done for the day. The football will be half the distance at the goal line. It was at the 2, so it'll now be at the 1. It'll be 1st and goal for the Builders. Clock at 3:11. Builders leading by a score of 17-0 as the referee is now over talking to the head coach for the Gladiators. So the Builders can't snap the football just yet until it's whistled back into play. As DeMond
Dixon's
Logan
parents are leaving the building.
Gets an explanation, but I don't think he liked it. And that's a very good pickup there by our engineer producer. Shane Dixon, the middle linebacker, got ejected. We just saw his parents leave the stands. So, and they're wearing a jersey that has his name and number on the back of it, so their day is done, as well as the Builders are going to be stacked up in the backfield.
90 just got rolled up on. Hey, we're going to.
And a player is down, and I believe that is going to be Kelvin Lee, the nose tackle. And tell you what, that didn't look good. Let's step away. 2:53 left. Builders up 17-0. We'll be back.
How much you earn has a lot to do with how much you learn. That's why Bayport Credit Union is again investing in your continued education. Through our Bayport Foundation, we're giving $100,000 in tuition assistance to area high school seniors, college students, and working adults attending a university, trade, or vocational school. Everyone deserves to be happy, healthy, and financially wise. Visit bayportcu.org to learn more.
There are giants among us. They are the men and women building our Navy's next generation submarines. They are giants in what they do because they work in a place where they can grow, where they can learn the skills to build careers as powerful as the beasts they forge. We build giants because it takes one. to build one.
USC Dunlane provides our program exactly what they say, a chance for small colleges to compete. It's leveling the playing field for everybody.
I am Fatima Medina, and I work for HII, building the most powerful ships in the U.S. Navy. The digital technology I use is a generational change in the way that we build ships, making the construction of aircraft carriers more efficient. Plus, I get to work with veterans. Thanks to them, we all have our freedom, and we need to work hard to keep it. I am Fatima Medina, and I work for HII.
How much you earn has a lot to do with how much you learn. That's why Bayport Credit Union is again investing in your continued education. Through our Bayport Foundation, we're giving $100,000 in tuition assistance to area high school seniors, college students, and working adults attending a university, trade, or vocational school. Everyone deserves to be happy, healthy, and financially wise. Visit bayportcu.org to learn more.
.253 remaining. Builders on the 1-yard line, second down and goal after a first down stop by the defense. That give goes up the middle to Taylor, who gets into the end zone. Touchdown!
And follow Taylor back to the sideline.
Builders. Builders add to their 17-0 lead. Is now 23-0 over the Gladiators of South Carolina Central Christian, who on that last set of downs lost two players as Shane Dixon was ejected from the football game, and we saw Kelvin Lee go down, their big nose tackle, while we were all away on break. He was able to walk off on his own power, which is so encouraging. As that PAT is up,
and we're
going to
go to 4.
It is good. 2:42 remaining here on homecoming. 24-0 Builders over the Gladiators. So again, if you are the Gladiators, seeing Kelvin Lee walk off on his own, under his own power, is extremely encouraging. His afternoon here may be done, but thankfully it looks like he may have avoided a huge setback for himself and for his football team. Coach Logan is now on the field prior to this kickoff. I think I'm not really sure what it is he's talking to the officials about.
Go ahead and pan over, Dad. You get the kickoff team.
He's
other
in
way.
the end zone. He went to go retrieve something that was left on the field.
You're good there.
I'm not really sure what that is. It looks like a baby. You know what? From back here, I think it was a piece of jewelry. So the head coach for the visiting Gladiators retrieving a piece of jewelry that a player left right on the goal line, as a matter of fact, as he walks it off the field. Logan Eastman set the kick. That one is going to carry all the way back into the end zone. They're going to bring that one out. Kyler Barkley. Barkley able to get around the left side of the pursuit, where he's met viciously right around the 25-yard line.
out of bounds by Sincere Hawkins.
Sincere Hawkins with the push out of bounds. So right about the 25-yard line is where the Gladiators will start this next drive. 2:42 remaining in the first half. Builders now up by 4 scores. Nope, I take it back. They're up by 3. They're still up by 3 scores. 24-0. Well, if they score 3 touchdowns and have and they all score 2, if they score 2 points after each touchdown, that'll tie the football game. As the pass rush nearly gets
one's up,
Smith.
2's up.
Oh, Builders almost able to get a interception off of the carom. It hit the wide receiver's hands and hit Jaden Jackson right in the midst. Oh, that is 2 interception opportunities that have been taken away from the Builders. Pass rush almost got home to E.J. Smith, but he was able to escape the rush, get out into the right flat, and try to deliver a pass to his wide receiver, Brendan Broadwater. Unable to connect, but a near pick by the Builders. Handoff up the middle.
Up. That's a face.
That's Lennox.
That's a face mask.
With the carry.
4's up.
Who's moved
Dad,
over
get ready
from the
for
wide receiver
flag.
position to play running back this afternoon. We see a flag on the ground.
Personal foul, face mask. Number 6, 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
So that face mask penalty.
Correction, number 16.
Okay, they changed. I think he just changed the number. Did he say from 6 to 16? If he did, that's Dylan Gold with the face mask penalty. So that'll give the Gladiators a fresh set of downs as the clock continues. We're getting close to the 2-minute timeout.
2's up.
This will be the last play before the 2-minute timeout as Smith, and we're going to have another flag. And that's going to be a false start penalty on the offense. So it's going to back
snap infraction. Number 58 on the offense, 5-yard penalty.
So it'll be
first down.
And 15 now.
4's up.
Once it's whistled back into play, that'll bring us to the 2-minute timeout as the clock will start on the official, on the referee, and there it goes.
And 2's up.
So they will not get this off before the 2-minute timeout. 24-0 on homecoming here at the Apprentice School Athletic Center. We'll step away.
2-minute timeout.
There are giants among us. They are the men and women building our Navy's next generation submarines. They are giants in what they do because they work in a place where they can grow, where they can learn the skills to build careers as powerful as the beasts they forge. We build giants because it takes one to build one.
I am Fatima Medina, and I work for HII, building the most powerful ships in the U.S. Navy. The digital technology I use is a generational change in the way that we build ships, making the construction of aircraft carriers more efficient. Plus, I get to work with veterans. Thanks to them, we all have our freedom, and we need to work hard to keep it. I am Fatima Medina, and I work for HII.
Okay, so with that, welcome back, everybody. First of all, with that last penalty by the Gladiators, that has now put them over the century mark in penalty yards that they've surrendered this afternoon. That puts them at 104 on the afternoon, and we're just in the first half of play. Pass rush nearly gets to Smith. Beautiful tackling job on the receiver out in the left flat. That was Jabari Anderson. if you want to draw up
Two's
the
up.
form way to tackle someone and separate them from the football, he just showed you that at 6'1", 190 pounds, the freshman with a beautiful form tackle. Pass goes incomplete. That's going to make it now 2nd down and 15. Clock stopped. 1:55 left in the first half. Now, I'm going to check this at the half. The Gladiators
4's up.
have surrendered 104 yards in penalties, but they only have about 48 yards of total offense. We'll verify that.
One's
at
up,
the half.
pass.
Okay, I take it back, ladies and gentlemen. We have a change at quarterback. E.J. Smith is out as that pass gets to Lennox Petty. We now have a new quarterback. Samir Holloway is back into the football game, I think. Okay, he does come back on the field. So Samir Holloway, who started the football game at the quarterback position, was taken out after the very first series of downs. E.J. Smith has been in the football game and has played the entire first half, but now looks like the last drive prior to going into the halftime locker room, they've gone back to their starter, Samir Holloway.
One's
Holloway
up.
decides
Keeper.
to keep, able to get away from the defense. Able to make it all the way up to the
One's
third
up.
level of defenders. He took a shot. Oh, that did not look good. And Samir Holloway is down. So Samir Holloway is down. Tell you what, let's step away. 24-0 Builders, 109 remaining in the first half.
How much you earn has a lot to do with how much you learn. That's why Bayport Credit Union is again investing in your continued education. Through our Bayport Foundation, we're giving $100,000 in tuition assistance to area high school seniors, college students, and working adults attending a university, trade, or vocational school. Everyone deserves to be happy, healthy, and financially wise. Visit bayportcu.org to learn more.
There are giants among us. They are the men and women building our Navy's next generation submarines. They are giants in what they do because they work in a place where they can grow, where they can learn the skills to build careers as powerful as the beasts they forge. We build giants because it takes one to build one.
I am Fatima Medina, and I work for HII, building the most powerful ships in the U.S. Navy. The digital technology I use is a generational change in the way that we build ships, making the construction of aircraft carriers more efficient. Plus, I get to work with veterans. Thanks to them, we all have our freedom, and we need to work hard to keep it. I am Fatima Medina, and I work for HII.
How much you earn has a lot to do with how much you learn. That's why Bayport Credit Union is again investing in your continued education. Through our Bayport Foundation, we're giving $100,000 in tuition assistance to area high school seniors, college students, and working adults attending a university, trade, or vocational school. Everyone deserves to be happy, healthy, and financially wise. Visit bayportcu.org to learn more.
24-0 is our score. Samir Holloway was able to bounce up off the turf and jog off of the field under his own power.
Two's up.
In the first half, I have to tip my cap to the staff, the medical staff for the apprentice school. They have been just on the spot to really do a great job of looking after the players that have gone down in this game, Kelvin Lee and Samir Holloway. So great job for them stepping in with the visiting team and making sure that these guys
One's up.
are okay as
Pass,
they play this
two's
tough
up.
game of football. As that one is lofted into the end zone. Once again, E.J. Smith, who is back in at quarterback, that connection between he and Antoine Graham, it just has not been able to materialize. The opportunities have been there, but the connection has just not happened yet.
I just lost my camera forward.
So if at first
Battery
you don't
died.
succeed,
Try again.
Try try again. That time, I believe Smith did a nice job of putting enough air underneath the football. It was just a shade too far. So if you look at the player shadows, as Graham would have had to turn around and track that football, he would have tracked it. He would have had to track it
pass
through the
lower
sun.
that.
So Smith holds on to the football.
2's up.
Able to pick up plus yardage. The clock is stopped at 45 seconds remaining in the first half as the Gladiators.
Holding on the offense, number 71, 10-yard penalty.
Stay there.
Repeat, second down.
That run by E.J. Smith is going to be nullified by a holding call. So that holding call now makes it 114 penalty yards in the first half for Coach Logan and his Gladiators. If he has a statistician over on the sideline, whenever they feed him those numbers at the half, he'll probably throw up in the locker room. So I hope we have a trash can with a liner in there. Smith gets everyone to their right position. 5 wide receivers set. Game clock now at 25. It's Smith.
One's up, pass.
Goes to
and over.
Nobody. He actually threw it in between both intended wide receivers.
2's up.
Broadwater and Graham, neither one were looking back for the football as they were running a go route. So the incomplete pass stops the game clock at 21 seconds. Builders with a commanding 24-0 lead. On a beautiful, beautiful day here in Newport News. It is, I'm telling you, man, that sky is just wow. It is just beautiful.
Ball still at the 44-yard line. It is now third down.
Third down and 20. Smith. Pass out to the left flat to his wide receiver. Ball turned over. Builders with the football. That's Kyrie Trueblood. Did he take it away from the receiver? If he did, that is a touchdown. There's the indication from the official. We weren't able to see what was going on over there, but I believe Kamari Trueblood was able to wrestle the football away from the receiver, who was DeMarco Lovett. He just took it away from him and just ran up the sideline for a long touchdown. I don't see anything. Of course, we don't have the luxury of review, but that play is going to stand, and that's going to extend the Builder lead now to 30-0. 8 seconds left in the half as Logan Eastman comes on to attempt the point after. So the Builders pick up a defensive score. As the Logan Eastman point after is up and good, but flags just, wow. It looked like fireworks out there, didn't it? There was so many flags that went up at once, just like fireworks.
We have 12 players on the defense. The penalties declined. The points are good.
So the point after will stand. There were 12 players on the field on defense. So that point after by Logan Eastman is good. That extends the Builder lead now to 31-0. Here on homecoming, and when it comes to homecoming, this is exactly what you want to see on the field during homecoming. You want to see complete domination. Now, yes, on the scoreboard, the Builders have dominated, but boy, they've gotten a lot of help from the Gladiators this afternoon with those penalties. They're already into triple-digit yardage in penalties that have been levied against them. And that's not to mention the penalties that have been declined, like that penalty right there on the point after. So it could be a whole lot worse. So this will probably be the last play of the first half. We'll take a break. We'll come back, and when we come back, you'll get a chance to hear a discussion I'm going to have with our commissioner of the New South Athletic Conference, Mike Davis. Just kind of get you caught up on a couple of things and just kind of see what his thoughts are about this very first ever New South Athletic Conference game taking place right here before your eyes as Logan Eastman. Squib kick along the ground. Clock will start as soon as it's touched, and there it goes. Returner is going to be stopped right around the 30-yard line, and the game clock is at 0, and that will do it. That'll be the last play of the first half. A dominant first half, along with a penalty-marred first half by the Gladiators, have helped the Builders build a 31-0 lead here on homecoming. So we'll step away for a couple of minutes. We'll come back. Don't go anywhere. Interview coming up with the commissioner. We'll be back. Welcome back, everyone. Halftime here at the Apprentice Athletic Center. Builders with a commanding 31-0 lead over the Gladiators of South Carolina Central Christian. The homecoming queen and king were just crowned. Our homecoming king for this year is Dylan Harmon, while our queen is Miss Maya Williams. So congratulations to the homecoming king and queen of this year. But I am joined now by a very special guest, the commissioner of the New South Athletic Conference, Mr. Mike Davis. Mike, it's a pleasure to have you today, sir.
Howard, it's glad to be here, and your voice is going to remain in my head for the rest of my life. I just want you to know that.
No, that is my intention. That's my intention. I want to live on forever.
Goal achieved. Goal achieved, sir.
But listen, this is a historic day here for the New South Athletic Conference. But for those who might be listening and also watching, Mike, can you introduce the New South Athletic Conference to those who don't know anything about this conference?
Well, we began, Howard, about, a little over 5 years ago. We formed in the middle of the pandemic. It came together. I was serving as athletic director at a school in North Carolina at the time, and it was a new startup school in 2017, and we were looking for a home to play in, and we couldn't find anything, and so I said, well, we'll just make one. And it all came together in 2020 with men's basketball. We had 4 schools at that time. We actually dropped to 3 the next year. We were hanging on by our fingernails, and then the apprentice school joined in 2022, and it was at that point that we started to really try to expand our sports offerings, and we've been growing ever since.
That's outstanding, and I do remember when we had that first basketball tournament here at the Apprentice School at the gym, and it was just it was so well received, and everything was so well put together. But that was basketball, so of course you decided to grow the conference, and now I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I did read where since 2022. The effort has been made to try to bring football into the conference. So what was it that made you, what was the motivation behind wanting to bring football into the conference?
Jeff Enott and Walker McCrary. Really? And everybody here at Apprentice, we knew that football was important to Builder Nation, and we wanted football to have a conference home as well. And so we started looking around to see if there were other schools that would fit within our footprint, that would be a good fit, not only geographically but also size-wise and culturally. And it took a while. It took a while for that to happen, but we had other schools that came into the conference that also had football, such as Lighthouse Christian College and Atlantis University. And so, we finally got to the point this year where it looked like we were going to be able to make that happen. But the goal of the New South Conference from the beginning, Howard, has been to provide, to serve our member schools. And to do that, we want to have a platform for sports like football, women's basketball as well, baseball, and to meet as many of those sports as we possibly can, and we're really, really excited that football came together for us this year.
We're talking to Mike Davis, the commissioner of the New South Athletic Conference, as he joins us here on this historic day here at the Apprentice School, as the very first ever football game is being taken place inside the conference for the first time, and this is just so fantastic. Now, tell me this, what is the benefit for the student athlete of having football now being brought into this conference?
Well, for all of our student athletes, the feeling has been from the very beginning that we wanted to give them the opportunities and the experiences that they might not otherwise have. Just because we're not NCAA Division I doesn't mean that these student athletes shouldn't have an opportunity to play for a championship,
Right.
that they shouldn't have opportunities for recognition, both athletically and academically. And so this gives them that platform. This gives those kids that opportunity to shine and to really play for something. I mean, it's great when you go out week in and week out and you can get those W's, but knowing that you've got that goal for the end of the season, or that you can get that recognition as possibly a player of the week, or gain all academic honors for the conference, that gives you a little extra motivation. And we wanted to provide that for these young people. And that was really one of the motivating factors that started the conference in the first place.
Now, just about every single time in whatever setting that has been going on sports-wise, when I've had an opportunity to just kind of come up to you and say hi and just spend some time talking with you, you've always seemed so excited about whatever it is that's going on inside of the conference. So today, with this historic game taking place right before our eyes, tell the people that are listening, what does this experience, what does this mean to you personally?
You know, Howard, every time I'm at a conference event, I have to pinch myself and say, is this really happening? This is so cool. I can't believe that opportunities we're talking about opportunities for the student athletes. What a great opportunity for me. I get a chance to sit and enjoy this and see something that's come together like this. I mean, I just love it. I can't believe that we've been able to come together, these various schools from across the Southeast, and in a spirit of cooperation to make things like this happen. And so there's no way that I would not have been here today to witness this historic event. This is terrific, and you're right. I am excited because I'm having a blast.
Yeah, absolutely, and so are we, and we're so glad that you could be here. You know, Mike, I could definitely sit here and talk to you for the rest of the day. But unfortunately, there is another half of football.
That's not unfortunate. Well, I want to see some football.
Right. So we still have a second half of football we have to play. Thank you so much, Mike Davis, for joining us. Again, commissioner of the New South Athletic Conference. If anyone has never heard about this conference and they're hearing about it for the first time, can you tell the folks that are watching and listening, how can they find out more about this conference?
Easiest way to do that is to go to our website, which is newsouthconference.com. You can track all of our sports there. We've got more sports this year than ever before, and you can follow us on social media as well. You'll see links to that on our website, again, newsouthconference.com.
Absolutely. I'm already following you guys on Twitter.
Thank you, sir.
Nice job, Mike. It's
All right,
it's
Howard.
a pleasure to have you.
Thank you so much.
31-0 is our halftime score here at Homecoming. 2:15 remaining. We'll step away. We'll take a break, and we'll come back with first half stats and second half action. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back. Welcome back, everyone. Time for the second half of Homecoming. And again, if you were not with us, you missed an amazing interview with the commissioner of the New South Athletic Conference, Mike Davis, who just talked about the origins of the conference and, how things came to be and, his personal feelings about what's going on the field today. So thank you so much to Mike Davis for spending that time with us. Our homecoming king and queen were crowned at the half. Dylan Harmon is our king this year, and our homecoming queen is Maya Williams. So we are back to football action as Logan Eastman boosts this one deep. That one is going to be taken out of the end zone by Kyle, and and that's going to be a flag that's going to come out. Now, I'm wondering, Kyle Barkley was on the return. A late flag came out. I did see, may have been a horse collar tackle, but I don't want to jump to conclusions. I'm going to let David Spires tell us.
Holding. Brave the return team. 10-yard penalty, first down.
Okay, well, never mind what I saw. Mr. Spires said that there was a holding penalty on the return team, so that'll back them up 10 yards. And the Gladiators, penalty-wise, pick up where they left off in the first half. Our stat sheet shows that in the first half, the Gladiators committed 14 penalties to the tune of 114 penalty yards. So tack that one on. That's 15 penalties now for 124 yards in the game so far. All of the first half stats, of course, are heavily skewed towards the home team. Builders with 12 first downs, the Gladiators with only 4. Gladiators with only 78 yards of total offense. Says the connection between Smith and Graham finally happened, and boy, it looked painful as all of that only went for a total of 1 yard gain on first down. So this is going to make it now second down and 8 or a long 9 upcoming. Again, only 76 yards of total offense. Builders only put up 147 yards of total offense themselves, but they work with short fields pretty much throughout the half. So that's why they were only able to amass 147 yards of total offense as Smith tried to get around the left side. He was held up long enough for the rest of the cavalry to come along and finish him off. That's Jabari Anderson, who was the first player in on the stop. That's going to bring up now third down and long. No gain on the play. So E.J. Smith was 3 of 14 in the first half, passing for 17 yards, while Samir Holloway was 1 of 3 for 7 yards. Kendall Hunt for the Builders was 8 of 13 for 93 yards passing in the first half, as Smith rolls out to his right, tries to stop and deliver the football. He does, but that's going to be for a minimal gain on third down, not nearly enough for a first down, as Xavier Davis with the pickup, and the offense is signaling to the sideline, let's go for it on fourth down. So I don't see the punting team coming out. The play clock has already started. So it's fourth down and a yard to go, as the play clock is now at 20. So Builders with a golden opportunity with a stop here is Smith. If he's going to keep it and run with it, he's about 7 yards away from where he needs to go to, and that false start is going to make fourth down that much more difficult. So Dexter Gunter from that right tackle position jumped early.
False start. Number 71 of the offense. 5-yard penalty. Still fourth down.
So that'll make it now 129 yards of total penalties given up now by the Gladiators. I will not be keeping track of that throughout the game. I can tell you that right now. But it's just an amazing and alarming stat to see your offense or see your team surrender 129 total yards of in penalties and we're not even halfway through the third quarter. So that's going to force the Gladiators to punt. Builders send Jabari Anderson, I believe, and Baker Green back, as this one comes over near Green, but it takes a Builder bounce, and it's going to be touchdown or touch dead at about the 44-yard line. And that's where the Builders' second half opening possession will take place. As far as rushing yardage in the first half, let's see, that's Tyron Taylor, Tyron Taylor, 5 for 20. His longest carry was 14 yards. Kobe Messi, he only had three carries. He had a total of -1 yard, but he does have that touchdown to his name. So does Malachi Mitchell. Malachi Mitchell, 1 yard, 1 carry, 1 touchdown. That's ultimate efficiency right there, ladies and gentlemen, from the running back position. As Hunt, pressured, stands in the pocket, delivers a nice soft pass to Townsend, who comes down with it, loses his helmet, but he still makes the catch on the far side, and that's going to be enough for a first down. So that pushes the football just outside the red zone, as the Builders will set up shop 1st and 10 at the 21-yard line of the Gladiators. Good to see Bradley Hebb back out there on the field. Remember, in the first half, he went down. He was able to limp off the field, but he is right back out there in the slot to Hunt's right as we have a stoppage. The play clock is down to 00.
Delay game, won the offense. 5-yard penalty. First.
Now the play clock is the responsibility of the quarterback. The play clock is right in the quarterback's line of sight. So it is their responsibility when they come to the line of scrimmage to check that. So now it makes it 1st and 15 as Hunt tries to get the football to his wide receiver. There was a lot of grabbing in the end zone, and the flag comes out. His intended receiver.
Intended for Jeremiah Gainey.
That one was intended for Jeremiah Gainey.
Pass interference on the defense, number 15. 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Yeah, he was interfered with in the end zone. That was Johannes Williams on coverage who interfered with the receiver. So the flag was dropped in the end zone. That'll be 15 yards. And the Builders will be 1st and 10. Not 1st and goal.
Correction, the foul was on number 2.
So they didn't give him the entire 15. It was only half the distance. My apologies on that. I called that one wrong. So it's half the distance to the goal line. That's going to put the football now, I believe that's on the 13-yard line. Builders can pick up a first down without scoring. Hunt with a single setback to his right is Taylor. Hunt looks to the left, throws, and he finds his receiver in the end zone. Touchdown, Builders. 13-yard reception in the end zone by Baker Green, and the Builders have extended their lead now to 37-0, 11:29 remaining in the first half. Builders, looks like that first win, that first conference win, is that much closer. Builders with a different kicker on to attempt the point after. That's Joseph Kim. The snap, the hold, the kick are good. 38-0. Builders lead here at home on homecoming. We will take a break, and we'll be back.
I am Fatima Medina, and I work for HII, building the most powerful ships in the U.S. Navy. The digital technology I use is a generational change in the way that we build ships, making the construction of aircraft carriers more efficient. Plus, I get to work with veterans. Thanks to them, we all have our freedom and we need to work hard to keep it. I am Fatima Medina and I work for HII.
How much you earn has a lot to do with how much you learn. That's why Bayport Credit Union is again investing in your continued education. Through our Bayport Foundation, we're giving $100,000 in tuition assistance to area high school seniors, college students, and working adults attending a university, trade, or vocational school. Everyone deserves to be happy, healthy, and financially wise. Visit bayportcu.org to learn more.
It's homecoming here at the Apprentice School as the Builders have extended their lead now over the Gladiators 38-0 as Kyle Barkley with the return, continuing to fight and scrap all the way out of the end zone up to the 29-yard line, which is where the Gladiators will start their next drive. Bit of a get-right game for the Builders coming into this first conference game as the Builders, of course, started their season taking on Southern Virginia. That was a road game where the Builders came home from that game having lost that one by a score of 27-6. So they were back home last week where they took on a really tough North Carolina Wesleyan football team and dropped that one to the Bishops by a score of 49-16. But here today, as the give goes to the back for the Gladiators, that is Lennox Petty on the carry, able to pick up plus yards. It's going to bring up a second down and short for the Gladiators. But again, the Builders dropped that contest last week here at home, so Builders have an opportunity to come out this week. According to Coach Vincent Brown, the energy in practice was really, really good. They had a really good week of practice. And basically he told me, he said, hey, they ready to go get this win. And they've really shown that today to the tune of a 38-0 score as the keeper by the quarterback is met in the backfield violently by Kamari Trueblood, who already has, if I'm not mistaken, he already has a return touchdown off of a strip fumble that he was able to return for a touchdown in the first half is Kamari Trueblood. So he is having a fantastic homecoming. So next week the Builders will be on the road. They'll be traveling to Methodist, which is located in Fayetteville, North Carolina. And then they will not return home. Well, they'll be back home the following week, the weekend of October 4th, where they take on Southern Georgia Institute. As Smith threw it slightly behind his intended wide receiver, Brandon Broadwater. So that was 3rd and 6, I believe, or was that? Yep, that was 3rd and 6, which will make it now 4th and 6. So we thought it was decision time upcoming, but instead the decision has already been made. They will punt the football. So keep in mind that the Gladiators' best defensive player went out in the first half with a lower body injury. We will not speculate on what that injury is, but we do know that it was a lower body injury. So he may not be back for the remainder of the half, as that punt is close to being blocked. And it is going to take a Builder bounce, and it'll be touched dead at the Gladiator 47-yard line. So pretty much just like the first half, the Builders had exceptional field position throughout the first half. They'll continue to do that in the second half with outstanding field position, as that punt was nearly blocked. Special teams, remember last week was a bit of a problem for the Builders, as the Builders surrendered 2 block punts, which both resulted in touchdowns for the Bishops. But according to Coach Brown, it wasn't a scheme issue last week on special teams. It was an effort issue. So he said they got those things cleaned up in practice, and they shouldn't rear their ugly head again this week. And so far it has not happened, as that give goes to the up back. That is Malachi Mitchell. So he adds to his rushing totals. Remember, prior to that carry by Mitchell, 1 carry, 1 yard, 1 touchdown. So he's already off of his scoring pace. 2-yard gain on first down, 2nd and 8 upcoming for Hunt. Give once again to Mitchell. Mitchell off and running. Mitchell wasn't quite able to step out of the arms of that last tackler. That was Nick Grant, who helped save an even bigger gain on the play. Nick Grant coming down from that cornerback position to make that tackle on Mitchell.
At the 34-yard line, 1st and 10 for the
So the clock continues to move. 8:36 left in the third quarter. Again, historic matchup this afternoon in the New South Athletic Conference. This is the first conference game of the conference. And for both of these schools, there's a one-handed grab by Isaiah Townsend. Just vacuumed in, and he loses his helmet again. So he'll have to come off the field for at least one play. That is a new technology that was introduced to the league several years ago. The tackified glove has just changed the way wide receivers are able to catch the football, and Isaiah Townsend just showed you what tackified gloves can do for you. So 2nd and 5. Football at the 29-yard line of the Gladiators as Hunt drops back. Screen over the middle to TK Petty. That's the second screen over the middle that TK has caught. And again, able to surge ahead for plus yards on the play. That's going to give the Builders a brand new set of downs. Football now sitting just outside of the 15-yard line of the Gladiators.
15-yard line, 1st and 10 for the Apprentice School.
Builders already in complete control of this football game, 38-0 here in the third. Gladiators offensively on the season, defensively, they're averaging 59 points per game to their opponent on defense is what they're averaging, giving up 59 points per game so far.
Tackle made by number 29.
So with the way the Builders have been moving the ball this afternoon, they are well on their way to hitting that average that the Gladiators are averaging, surrendering on defense as far as points per game. Once again, Builders spread them out. 4 wide receivers, 1 single setback as Mitchell. Hunt looks. Delivers into the middle of the field. That one was nearly picked off. There was just absolutely nothing there over the middle, as that one was nearly picked off by Eric Hatton Jr., the 5'10", 180-pound defensive back, who was out there pretty much at the free safety position, nearly brought that in for an interception, which would have been a turnover. But instead, Builders still have an opportunity to pick up a first down, 3rd down and 8. As Hunt delivers out quickly to Townsend. Townsend really would have had to work to get to that first down marker, unable to break that last tackle, as the tackler on the play is slow to get up off the turf. He is able to get up and make it to the sideline under his own power. That's Tyrone Bowens. So Bowens will head to the sideline. after making that third down stop on T.K. Petty. 4th down and 5, the offense stays on the field for the Builders. As the clock continues to tick, 5:40 remaining in the third. So with this sizable lead, Builders get an opportunity to sort of conduct a little bit of a live practice because, of course, they do practice these situations off the field. But now with live action, they get a chance to see if these things will work as Hunt able to dance his way, I believe, to just enough for a first down. As the indication has just been given by the referee, that's going to be 1st and goal to go for the Builders. Clock starts.
Ball spotted at the 6-yard line. 1st and goal for the Apprentice School.
Once again, want to thank Mike Davis for spending halftime with us, as that is going to be yet another penalty against the defense. So everybody jumped at the same time.
Offsides with contact. Number 90 of the defense. Half the distance to the goal. First down.
So you have to give that 5-yard penalty or credit for creating that 5-yard penalty to Kendall Hunt. He changed just enough in his cadence to not get one guy on the defensive front to jump. They all jumped. So that's a free 5 yards, which puts the Builders that much closer to the goal line. They're now on the 3. 1st and goal now as Hunt looks over to the sideline to get the play. Single setback is Mitchell. Mitchell with the carry. Mitchell is going to be ridden down before he can get into the end zone.
Number 31, Malachi Mitchell. No gain on the play.
Tackle back at the line of scrimmage, so no gain on the play. Mitchell was taken down. That was Tegan Evans with the tackle. So 2nd down and goal to go. We're just under 4 minutes left in the third as Mitchell flanks Hunt to the left. Hunt decides to keep this time. Hunt is going to outrace the defense to the goal line. Touchdown, Builders! 3-yard scamper into the end zone for Kendall Hunt, who has had a really, really good day at the quarterback position. Has done a fantastic job of just not turning the football over and doing his best job of keeping the Builders out of negative plays. He picks up the 3-yard touchdown run. That scoring drive for the Builders, 10 plays, 48 yards. And the Builders now lead 44-0 as Logan Eastman on for the point after. The kick is up, and it is good. So 45-0, Builders with the commanding lead. Let's take a break, and we'll be back.
There are giants among us. They are the men and women building our Navy's next generation submarines. They are giants in what they do because they work in a place where they can grow, where they can learn the skills to build careers as powerful as the beasts they forge. We build giants because it takes one to build one.
I am Fatima Medina, and I work for HII, building the most powerful ships in the U.S. Navy. The digital technology I use is a generational change in the way that we build ships, making the construction of aircraft carriers more efficient. Plus, I get to work with veterans. Thanks to them, we all have.
Logan Eastman, short kickoff this time, taken by the up returner. That is the elusive Mr. Roderick Shaw, who we weren't able to figure out who 26 was. Roderick Shaw with the return.
That was made by the Builders, number 24, Elijah Scott.
So that'll put the line of scrimmage for the Gladiators, I believe, at their own 31-yard line. 32-yard line, my correction. As Smith comes out, four bunch of receivers to his right, single receiver to his left. He has a one-on-one matchup on that side, and that's where he goes. That one was thrown way behind the intended receiver, Lennox Petty. So I like what they were doing right there with that formation. They were trying to create a one-on-one opportunity with the wide receiver and the corner on the left side. Football just did not connect with Petty. So 2nd down and 10 upcoming. We've seen Smith try to get the football to Antoine Graham several times in the first half, but the connection just wasn't there on the long ball. So they come back with the exact same formation. Smith this time looks to the right where the bunch formation was taking place with the wide receivers. And once again, you see someone get rolled up on the tackle.
Campbell Clark. Pass was completed to number 8, DeMarco Lovett.
Good to see Xavier Davis pop up from the turf after getting rolled up on that run and tackle on that wide receiver screen.
Ball to 36-yard line.
Pick up a 4 on the play, so 3rd down and 6 upcoming. And you got to believe that at this point, for the remainder of the game, the whole field is going to be 4-down territory for the Gladiators as they find themselves now down by 45 points. Smith, all types of time, flushes himself out of the pocket. I really think he had time to stay in the pocket as a whole bunch of Builders just show up to eat.
And the sack made by the Builders, number 27.
Builders with a sack lunch all the way back to the 29-yard line, and that's going to bring up 4th down and long as the punting unit Devin Fields is going to come onto the field to punt this football back to the Builders, who just finished mounting their own scoring drive just a moment ago to push their lead to 45-0 over the Gladiators here at home on homecoming. During, again, the first ever football matchup in the New South Athletic Conference. Builders will go in the history books of the conference, but not until a flag hits the ground.
Delay a game with the offense. 5-yard penalty. Still 4th down.
So I think that is now 20 penalties for 161 yards. That is incredible. And we still have a whole quarter left to play. That is incredible. Fields had a bit of an issue handling that snap, but he still gets it away to Green. Green tracks it. Green with an opportunity. Green gets ridden down inbounds, but not before he's able to get the football all the way inside, I believe down to the 31. They haven't spotted it yet, but it's going to be somewhere around about the 31-yard line of the Gladiators, and that's where the Builders will start this next drive. So again, once again, the Builders, just like in the first half, just like in the majority of the third quarter, they have started with great field position, just short fields. So it's a possibility by the time this game is over, the Builders will have 50-plus points, but only around less than 250 yards of total offense, which is just strange, which is just crazy. I thought the Gladiators jumped into the neutral zone, but no flag went down. Play clock is at 8. Hunt switches Hicks over to his right. Hicks with the carry. Hicks steps inside. Nice job of making the defender miss. And that helped him pick up about 9 yards on first down. Builders don't huddle. Builders decide to go with a little bit of tempo here. As Hunt tries to deliver into the end zone. He does. Touchdown, Builders. That is a 22-yard pitch and catch into the end zone for Bradley Hebb. So, again, good to see Bradley back out there playing winning football on that 22-yard touchdown pass from Kendall Hunt. Remember, he got hurt earlier in the football game. We saw him limp off and didn't think we would see him for the rest of the afternoon. But, again, great job by the staff to get him patched up and get him back on the field and back into the end zone. 51-0 now is our score with this point after. The snap, the hold, the kick, all three are good. Logan Eastman has been money this afternoon. Not only has he hit all of his PATs, he actually surrendered one to Joseph Kim. But even outside of that, punting, if you remember in the first half, he had a 63-yard punt on the day. And that was so cool to see. So fantastic job from Logan Eastman this afternoon. And the aforementioned Joseph Kim is going to get an opportunity on kickoff duty. So he is out there instead of Logan to kick this one back to the Gladiators. Where I told you earlier, defensively, they are giving up 59 points per game. We're just now coming to the end of the third quarter, and the Builders have already scored 52. So Joseph Kim set to kick us off here. Short kick. A fair catch is going to be called by the Gladiators. That is Johannes Williams is going to cleanly field that kick by Kim. Kim got underneath that football just a little bit too much. Wasn't able to drive that one. Instead, it was just more of an end-over-end kick that did not travel very far. So he'll come to the sideline and get coached up a little bit on that one as the offense makes its way back onto the field for the visiting Gladiators, who again hail from Casey, South Carolina. They're new to the conference this season as well. As a matter of fact, this is only their second year really of existence. Now, they were more of a club football team up until last season, so this season is their second, as Damon Logan takes over as the head coach, and the Builders able to stop Roderick Smith in the backfield. Beautiful job of just knifing in between the defensive line to trip up the ball carrier in the backfield is Caleb Davison. So Caleb Davidson taking advantage of his opportunity. Second down and 12. This will more than likely be the final play of the third quarter. Smith. Pass goes incomplete. I take it back. That will not be the final play of the third, as that incomplete pass set to Brandon Broadwater falls incomplete. So that'll stop the clock at 11 seconds remaining in the third. Football at the Gladiator 27-yard line. Three wide receiver this time set for the Gladiators. Single setback is Shaw next to E.J. Smith. Smith looking for Graham. Instead, tries to go to the wide receiver running the underneath route, which was Johannes Williams. So that one falls incomplete. Clock stopped at 6 seconds remaining in the third. 4th and 12. Punting unit comes on. Baker Green goes back. As the day has gone on special teams, the Builders have gotten closer and closer and closer and closer to blocking one of these Devin Fields punts. Haven't been successful yet. That last punt, that was the closest they've come all day. How Devin Fields was able to get that thing off, I'll never know as the play clock.
Live game on the offense. 5-yard penalty, 4th down.
So that's now the 21st penalty of the afternoon for the Gladiators to a tune of 166 yards. Here's Fields. Fields able to get that one away. End over end knuckler, fielded by Baker Green. And Baker Green was able to get it all the way back to just about close to where he returned the last punt. The last punt, he was able to get to the 31-yard line. Hold on a second. Did he get that one back to the 31-yard line also?
That's the quarter.
Wait a minute, hold on. All right, that's the end of the third. We'll get the ball placement when we get back. 52-0 here at homecoming. Builders with the lead.
How much you earn has a lot to do with how much you learn. That's why Bayport Credit Union is again investing in your continued education. Through our Bayport Foundation, we're giving $100,000 in tuition assistance to area high school seniors, college students, and working adults attending a university, trade, or vocational school. Everyone deserves to be happy, healthy, and financially wise. Visit bayportcu.org to learn more.
There are giants among us. They are the men and women building our Navy's next generation submarines. They are giants in what they do because they work in a place where they can grow, where they can learn the skills to build careers as powerful as the beasts they forge. We build giants because it takes one to build one.
$52-0 as we start the fourth and final quarter of this historic matchup for the New South Athletic Conference, as both of these teams are playing the first ever conference matchup in football. Builders with a new quarterback into the football game. That pass is deflected at the line of scrimmage. So it looks like Kendall Hunt's day is done as okay, that's Bryce Davis. He's wearing 14. Normally Bryce wears 88, but today he's wearing 14. So Bryce Davis, a 6'1", 205-pound freshman, takes over for Kendall Hunt, who again did everything that the coaching staff needed him to do as a defensive line jumps. Whoa! You know what? Hold on a second. Let's get the call.
Offside on the defense, number 90 with contact. 5-yard penalty, first down.
All right, so that's like the 22nd penalty today for the Gladiators. You know, I'm looking out there in the field, and I think I see big number 90 back on the field for the Gladiators. That's Kelvin Lee. Remember, he went down with an injury and looked like his day was done, but he is back out there still fighting for his team, and looks like he is trying his best to get them motivated as he can to continue to play football. But good sign to see him back out there. That is I am really happy about that. Is the play clock was about
timeout. Apprentice. They're first of the half.
Vincent Brown. So 14:57. Let's take that break with them. 52-0 is our score. We'll be back.
Prentice Athletics Booster Club membership is now open for the 2024-2025 season. You can choose a general membership to support all of Prentice Athletics, or you can designate one specific sport to support. Membership is good for the entire 2024-2025 athletic year, regardless of which decision you make. Scan the QR code or visit GoBuilders.com to get your membership today.
Our homecoming king and queen were crowned at the half. Our king for homecoming 2025-2026 was Dylan Harmon, and our queen was Miss Maya Williams. So congratulations to the king and queen. They could not have asked for a better day to be named king and queen than this one, as the Builders took control of this matchup early on with a 30-yard field goal from Logan Eastman, and they have not looked back. Builders have put up a 52-burger on the scoreboard, looking for more. As Bryce tries to get it in between into triple coverage to Isaiah Townsend, that one was nearly picked off. Should have been picked off, actually. That one was tailor-made to be a turnover, but instead it is going to fall to the ground as an incomplete pass. So Bryce Davis gets an opportunity to live another day at the quarterback position, who normally plays tight end for the Builders, but today he's playing quarterback. So someone in the press box had a really good idea, ladies and gentlemen, really good idea. Hey, let's run the ball. How about that? Let's do that. And just like that, you ask, and it shall be given. As Bryce Davis able to make his way through the defense all the way up to the third level, stopped just inside of the 14-yard line of the Gladiators. That's going to give the Builders a first down. And the Builders can still pick up another first down without putting it in the end zone. So again, 4 wide receiver set, single set back, Kobe Messi. Next to Bryce Davis. Messi shifts over. Davis in behind Messi as his lead block. Davis this time I think he's going to be stacked up at the line of scrimmage. So there's going to be no gain. Looks like it's actually going to be a half-yard loss on the play. So that'll bring up second down and close to 11.
Second and 10 for the Builders.
Clock continues to roll. 13 and a half remaining in the football game. Builders trying to stick this ball into the end zone one more time. Again, if they do that and convert the point after, they will have hit the number of, and that's more than likely going to be a grounding call. I anticipate a flag coming out here shortly. As the officials are discussing it. Yep, and there's the flag. Yeah, you can see that one coming all the way from up here. Bryce Davis was in the grasp of a tackler. And they say that they were trying to throw to Kobe Messi, who was in the area, and the officials discuss it, and they're going to pick up the flag. So that will not be intentional grounding. Instead, it will go as an incomplete pass. It'll be third down and 11. Bryce Davis works with a 4 wide receiver set, single set back. Still is Messi to the right of Davis. Davis picks up the snap that dribbled along the ground. He's able to get it out to Isaiah Townsend. Now, Isaiah Townsend reached for the pylon, but he lost the football. So there's going to be a discussion because that went through the end zone and that might be a touchback. Okay, so that discussion goes for naught. They're going to say he was pushed out of bounds before he lost the football, but he was able to pick up enough for the first down. Our vantage point here from the press box sure did look like he fumbled that through the end zone, but hey, we're in the press box out in the field. So that's going to be 1st and goal for the Builders at the 1. Builders with 2 backs flanking each side of Bryce Davis. That's Hicks and Messi. And the Builders flinch at the offensive line. That's going to be on Landon Michael, the 6'3", 290-pound freshman.
False start on the offense, number 61, 5-yard penalty.
At the left guard
first down.
position. That's going to back the Builders up 5. It moves them to the 6-yard line. Really, the football is sitting on the 7.
After the penalty, the ball now at the 7-yard line.
So same formation as a late substitution comes onto the field for the Builders. So the officials have to give the other team an opportunity to substitute as the play clock is now at 3, 2, 1, and it just expired. So that's going to be a delay of game penalty on the Builders. So that's consecutive penalties that's going to move them from the 2 all the way back to the 12.
Delayed game on the offense. 5-yard penalty, still first down.
Yo, get on the ball. Get on the ball now.
Now, the Builders still have 2 timeouts left in the football game. I'm not really sure why they sat on them and not called the timeout to save the yards. I mean, you're only up by 52. Give goes to Hicks. Hicks powers ahead. Hicks was able to pretty much get back most of the penalty yards. So 2nd down and goal. Football is sitting on just outside the 5-yard line, somewhere around the 6.
2nd down and goal for the Builders.
Same formation. Same back. Different result this time is Hicks is met in the backfield and dropped for a 1-yard loss. That's going to push it back to the 7.
Loss of 1 yard on the carry.
Bryce Davis comes over to have a quick conversation with the offensive coordinator. That's Scorpio Brown handling the offensive coordinator duties. Play clock at 13, plenty of time for Bryce Davis and the offense. Bryce fakes the give this time, wants to throw. Nobody is there. He decides to unload it. Now, depending on this flag, that did not make it back to the line of scrimmage, even though he was outside the tackle box.
Holding on the offense, number 32. It's 10-yard. Repeat, 3rd down.
Okay, so they don't take the play, they take the penalty. You can see the special teams unit coming out to try to attempt the field goal because they figured, oh, well, they'll decline the penalty and take the play, which will make it 4th down. But instead, Coach Logan for the Gladiators decides to take the yardage and not the play. So that'll give the Builders another opportunity. So if Bryce Davis is able to get this next play at least in the air into the end zone, that gives the Builders a chance.
Ball's now at the 17-yard line for the Apprentice School. It is 3rd and goal.
So with that 10-yard penalty, that pushes the football all the way back to the 17-yard line. And the Builders are going to be whistled for a substitution penalty.
Offense broke the huddle with 12. 5-yard penalty. Repeat, 3rd down.
So that's too many men on the field. As you can see, one Builder player jogging off the field at the last minute. So that's going to be an illegal substitution penalty. So a drive that got all the way down to the 2 has now, on penalties, been pushed all the way back to the 22. Davis steps up, looks. He has a receiver open. Delivered that one late to Townsend. And that's going to be incomplete as player lost his helmet.
broken up by Nick Grant.
So that's going to make this Logan Eastman
And goal for the Apprentice School.
field goal attempt a little bit longer. But surely, if you're able to punt the football 63 yards, this 39-yarder shouldn't be heavy lifting. Again, Logan has been perfect today on field goals and point afters. Let's see what he's able to do. The kick is up. He drove it, and that one is going to be no good. So Logan Eastman misses his second field goal attempt of the afternoon. But he still had an extremely productive day. So the football will go over to the Gladiators right at the point where Logan Eastman kicked it, I believe, right? Or did it go back to the line of scrimmage? Goes to the line of scrimmage, okay. Thank you, sir. I guess I'm thinking about the pro rules where the line of scrimmage would be right where the kicker kicked it. .9:22 remaining in this football game. Gladiators take over with E.J. Smith back at the controls. He has a single setback to his left. And there's a fumble. The back was able to jump on top of it, so he does save the possession for the Gladiators.
Recovered by the Gladiators.
That's Devon Sweeney, who's in at the tailback position for the Gladiators, the 5'9", 175-pound running back. As the clock continues to move, we're now well under 9 minutes remaining. Smith with the handoff. Builders met the running back at the point of attack once again. Again, Devon Sweeney. Not much doing there on second down.
No gain on the play. It's 3rd and 11.
So 3rd and long. Football at the 21-yard line. Smith looks over the defense. Starts to play. Quick pass to Broadwater. Broadwater may have picked up a yard, maybe. And Broadwater is slow to get up. He immediately takes his helmet off. I had a friend that played college ball, and he said, man, you can always tell how bad it hurts whether that player leaves his helmet on or not. So tell you what, we're going to take a break, allow the staff to look at Broadwater. We'll take a break. We'll be back 52-0 Builders.
There are giants among us. They are the men and women building our Navy's next generation submarines. They are giants in what they do because they work in a place where they can grow, where they can learn the skills to build careers as powerful as the beasts they forge. We build giants because it takes one to build one.
I am Fatima Medina, and I work for HII, building the most powerful ships in the U.S. Navy. The digital technology I use is a generational change in the way that we build ships, making the construction of aircraft carriers more efficient. Plus, I get to work with veterans. Thanks to them, we all have our freedom, and we need to work hard to keep it. I am Fatima Medina, and I work for HII.
$52-0 is our score. Thanks for hanging with us. As the Builders have just been dominant this afternoon, as Smith decides to air it out. He's trying to hook up with Graham, who he's trying to been hook up with all day, but that's going to be a pass interference call.
There's a flag on the play.
As Isaiah Thomas, I'm thinking basketball, Isaiah Townsend was on coverage.
Pass interference on the defense, number 18. 15-yard penalty from the previous spot. Automatic first down.
So that's going to bail the Gladiators out, and that's going to give them a fresh set of downs. As the E.J. Smith, Antoine Graham connection continues to try to build. Again, they haven't been able to connect much at all this afternoon. They have been able to connect in the short passing game, but anything explosive downfield, they just have not been able to connect. So that is going to put the new line of scrimmage at the 37-yard line of the Gladiators. Smith over the middle. Whoa! Huge collision there, but nice job by the Builders to just kind of hold up at the last minute and not create a personal foul penalty. That was Jabari Anderson on the coverage. It was DeMarco Lovett who was the intended receiver. DeMarco took a shot to the midsection. He felt that one, but he's able to stay in the game. So here we go. Smith on 2nd and 10. Pressure coming. Give. This is a different back out of the backfield. This is Javon Laster. His first carry of the afternoon. 5'10", 165-pound redshirt freshman. So again, Coach Logan is throwing everyone he can out there to just kind of see from an evaluation standpoint who he has. Because again, he has 34 new players, not just new players, but players who've never played at this level of competition before. So he's just trying to see what he has. Smith pass picked. Nice job by Caleb Davison, the 5'11", 185-pound freshman linebacker, able to grab that one, and I believe there's a flag. Yep, there's a flag. Let's see what Spires says.
After the play, personal foul, unnecessary roughness, number 58 of the offense. It's a 15-yard penalty from the end of the run. First down, Apprentice.
So that personal foul penalty is against the defense, and that'll be added onto the end of where Caleb Davison went down. So that'll push the football deeper into Gladiator territory, which is where the Builders will take over 1st and 10. If you kind of noticed, as E.J. Smith was about to throw that pass, you could see him do sort of a double hitch right before he threw it, which gave Caleb Davison enough time to read where the pass was going, and he was just simply able to jump into the passing lane and pick that ball off for the defense. So 6:50 remaining in the contest. Play clock is down to 0. They just get it away with Bryce Davis. Messi trying to get around the right side of the defense. Depending on where he went out of bounds, he's either going to be stopped right at the line of scrimmage or there might be a slight loss on the play. There's a coach for the Gladiators way out on the field past the numbers. So the clock continues to move. Play clock now at 13. Davis at the controls. Davis, pitch, goes to Mitchell. Malachi around the left side. How did he find an opening over there? I will never know. That opening had to be pretty big because he's 220 pounds. So that had to be a pretty big opening over there on the left side. He's able to get enough for a first down. Clock continues to move. We're now under 6 minutes remaining.
1st and 10 Builders.
So the play clock has started. Davis with Mitchell to his left. The give goes to Mitchell. Mitchell just busts it right up the middle. Just a halfback dive, just right up the middle. He's able to pick up plus yards. Looks like he picked up close to 4.
Gain of 3 yards on the run. 2nd down and 7.
So the play clock, the game clock, both are running. We're about to touch the 5-minute mark of the 4th quarter. Again, historic day here at the Apprentice Athletic Field. Play clock now at 5. Davis. Mitchell. Mitchell continues to fight. I think that leg churn may have gotten him another yard after contact. So he's going to make it 3rd down and about 5. Once again, the Builders can't pick up a first down without scoring. Builders are content with just running clock. When you got a 52-0 lead, yes, you can do that. You can just kind of sit on the football, and that's what they decide to do offensively is Davis. He has a single setback to his left, 2 wide receivers to his right. Single tight end, 11 personnel. Davis decides to keep. Davis fights. Doesn't get into the end zone, but he does get a first down. So it'll be 1st and goal to go for the Builders when they line up.
Ball's at the 2-yard line. 1st and goal for the Apprentice.
So again, the Gladiator defense surrendering 59 points a game. The Builders are able to get this one into the end zone. They can help maintain that average. As Mitchell, again, 220 pounds to the right of Davis. The give to Mitchell. Mitchell fights. He extends. Touchdown, Builders. So Malachi Mitchell with his 2nd rushing touchdown of the afternoon. And that gives the Builders a 58-0 lead over the Gladiators. 3:13 remaining in the football game. That scoring drive by the Builders went 6 plays, 30 yards. And again, that comes on the heels of the Caleb Davidson interception. So the kick, the hold, and the kick are all good. 59-0. Builders over the Gladiators on homecoming. We'll take a break. We'll be back.
The USCAA provides our program exactly what they say, a chance for small colleges to compete. It's leveling the playing field for everybody.
That kickoff is fielded by the Gladiators. Kyler Barkley. Not a whole lot on the return. 3:06 remaining in the football game. We see a couple of Builders getting up very, very slowly. Bit of a long day here. This game started at 1 p.m. and it's already after 4, so this game has been 3 hours plus.
Gladiators will take over off the 33-yard line, 1st and 10.
You know, I saw a very interesting stat one time about football, and it's just kind of stuck with me for a long time. If you so most football games, whether they're on TV or not, they actually last like about 3 hours. But the thing about it is, as we have a new quarterback into the football game, that is Antoine Wilson now at the controls. If you take the amount of time in a football game from the time that the play starts to when the whistle blows to end the play, if you add all of that time up, it only comes out to be about 18 minutes worth of actual football being played in a 3-hour game. That is incredible. And this is one of the reasons why football games last 3 to 4 hours. There is yet another penalty on the field.
Illegal substitution on the offense. 5-yard penalty. Still second down.
So from our statisticians, that is how many total penalties and yardage today so far. I know it's 20-plus penalties. I kind of lost track at 22. Yeah, it's some ungodly. As they keep by the new quarterback, Antoine Wilson. He picked up a couple of yards. Okay, so on the day, that's the 23rd penalty for 186 yards for the Gladiators. And we have just hit the 2-minute timeout. So tell you what, they will take a break. Guess who else is going to take a break? We are too.
How much you earn has a lot to do with how much you learn. That's why Bayport Credit Union is again investing in your continued education. Through our Bayport Foundation, we're giving $100,000 in tuition assistance to area high school seniors, college students, and working adults attending a university, trade, or vocational school. Everyone deserves to be happy, healthy, and financially wise. Visit bayportcu.org to learn more.
There are giants among us. They are the men and women building our Navy's next generation submarines. They are giants in what they do because they work in a place where they can grow, where they can learn the skills to build careers as powerful as the beasts they forge. We build giants because it takes one to build one.
3rd down and 12, 59-0, Builders over the Gladiators, as that give goes to the running back, who's able to find some plus yardage on the right side. That's Jake Jenkins, who's new into the game after the 2-minute timeout. Picked up about 8 yards. Is going to bring up 4th down and 4 for Coach Damon Logan and the Gladiators, who are going to keep their offense on the field. Again, Antoine Wilson is your 3rd quarterback. I believe, no, I'll take it back. I think it's your 4th quarterback today for the Gladiators, as that give goes absolutely nowhere. I think it may have been dropped for a loss. It's Jake Jenkins. So the Builders will take over, turn over on downs. So Bryce Davis and the offense will come back onto the field. And the Builders really don't have to technically run another play. They can just go out there, and I believe they can take a knee 3 times and just kind of, sort of get this one over with. Kind of get out of here with a victory and go home and celebrate. I don't know about anybody else, but when I leave here, I'm going to McDonald's. So the Builders do not come out in victory formation. As Bryce comes out with a conventional set. 4 wide receiver set as Bryce just continues to keep it. And he's just looking for somewhere to go down. The Gladiators just refuse to tackle him. So Bryce Davis is able to get through the defense for a first down. The clock continues to tick. Now you can just get into victory formation, take a knee, and get out of here with a huge victory to put you back into the winning column with your first, or put you into the win column with your first victory of the young season. Give the Builders their first conference win, along with their first divisional win. So the Builders, after today, even though their record will be 1-2, all of their goals on the season are still in front of them. As the Builders snap the football with 1 second to go on the play clock. So the game clock will continue to run. So the Builders will do another kneel down. So once again, congratulations to the homecoming king and queen, Dylan Harmon and Maya Williams. Congratulations to them. And also thank you again to Mike Davis, the commissioner of the New South Athletic Conference, spending time with us at the half, just giving us his views and feelings on the conference and its origins and just kind of where things are and where they're headed. So we're really excited about this opportunity to play in this conference, and we look forward to seeing what that championship game is going to look like, but we got to take care of business, and we did that today. Finals 10 seconds, tick off the clock, or we'll tick off the clock. Both teams will go across the field to shake hands, and the Builders will get out of here with their first victory of the season by taking down the Gladiators of South Carolina Central Christian by a score of 59-0. Congratulations to Coach Vince Brown, who picks up his 21st win in his career, and the Builders pick up their first win on the season. So once again, on homecoming, your final score, Builders 59, the Gladiators nothing. Ladies and gentlemen, we are going to bid you adieu. We're going to go home. So for Dave Davenport, I'm Howard McCain. We want to say thank you so much for joining us. We'll be back next week. Nope, the Builders are on the road next week at Methodist. We'll be back on the 4th of October when the Builders take on South Georgia Institute. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us. And remember, this is Builder Football.